What is up, guys? Soshike here, bringing you another episode of Mangalore. This is a manga podcast where we talk about manga of all things. Today, on the episode, we will be talking about my favorite shonen at the moment. I want to keep this short. There's a lot of shonens that I'm actually enjoying right now, but I picked my two favorites that are currently being released, and then my two favorites that are a bit older. One of them actually hasn't been completed yet. If you could take a guess at an older shonen that hasn't been completed, and the other one has. So let's go ahead and get into it. Mangalore Episode 6. Okay, once again, guys, this is where the sick-ass intro would kick in, but we do not have an intro. We do have a new mic. I hope it sounds pretty good. I still need to fix the audio levels on it and whatnot, but we are going up. We are improving. We are evolving. The Mangalore podcast is thriving in 2016, or 2019. And at the end of the month, I want to have my boy Lohali on here. That'll be our first guest. And he's going to decide what we actually talk about on that episode of Mangalore. So expect him on like episode 9 or 10. Maybe we should just round it off to 10 so it can be like an extravaganza of Mangalore. So, okay, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. Mangalore episode 6, we were talking about 4 shonen series that I think are a cut above the rest at the moment. Obviously, this is all personal preference, but this is what I'm currently reading and what has currently, garnered my interest. So we'll start it off with one new series, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, and this is a series that's been very humbling to me because at first I read the first volume, I picked it up, and I didn't really like it, and all of you guys told me to stick with it, and I had to, and I did because I listened to you guys, and I respect your guys' opinions, and if so many of you are going to tell me to stick with it, I'm going to do so. I'm going to give it another try. And yeah, the next couple of volumes came out. The next one volume, actually, the second volume came out, and it captivated me. They did something in the story that I felt was really needed, and how the matter in which they did it was brilliant. So that manga series is Dr. Stone. So I am a big advocate of Dr. Stone now. I had to swallow my words. I judged it solely on the first volume, but you can understand why I would do so. I think the first volume of Dr. Stone is actually fairly weak. The main character is really the driving point for the series, and in the environment that he was placed in the first volume, it was not letting him shine as much as he usually does. And then later on in the series, the supporting cast gets a lot stronger, a lot more comical, and I really, really am enjoying the series. Sorry about that. Feeling a little sick this morning for some reason. But why do I love Dr. Stone? I think Dr. Stone is an imaginative shonen that takes us to a world with a protagonist that we really haven't seen the likes of. He is a fucking prodigy. He's a genius. But at the same time, he's hilarious. He is enduring. He doesn't give up. But he also knows what the odds are. Nothing ever really feels like bullshit. He'll tell you straight up when, something is looking grim. And it's a shonen, but at the same time, he hasn't carried the story the whole way. There's been times when he's had to rely on others. And he's learned that throughout the story, that sometimes it's okay to rely on that, group of friends, your group of colleagues, whatever it is, your support system in order to achieve your next goal. Essentially, Dr. Stone, let me give you the synopsis. Tomorrow, everyone on Earth gets turned to stone for some reason. And I don't know how many years later, it was like 3,000 years later, some shit like that. He breaks out, and essentially we're back at the Stone Age, Dr. Stone. We're back at the Stone Age, and he's like a mini Einstein, essentially. And he wants to rebuild the scientific world. It's pretty much it. There's conflict, there's antagonists, there's a little bit of mystery, and it's a very, very, very well written story. It's from the writer of iShield 21, and it's from the author, the manga artist that did Sunken Rock. So 2 duos that are already known for having some great work, and right now they are working together to write this series that I think will continue on in Shonen Jump for a very long time. Right now we are barely around chapter 90. I think we're at chapter 88. And I can see this story, man, I want to say 400 chapters, over 300 for sure. It does have a little Cage of, if you ever read or saw the anime, I think there was an anime called Cage of Eden. It has a little bit of those vibes, but it's not as bad as Cage of Eden. Cage of Eden was fun in my opinion, but the main character was a very, 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 very lackluster. And in this series, our main character is fucking the bee's knees. So, enough talking about Dr. Stone. I'd highly recommend checking that out. Out of every new shonen at the moment that you can pick up the physical releases of, I would say for sure get caught up with Dr. Stone, because currently we are barely on volume 3. Volume 3 just got released like January 3rd or something here, in the States at least. Highly recommend picking it up, because I believe they're on a 2-month cycle. So, right now we're on volume 3, so get caught up now before, by next year we'll probably be on like volume 9 or 8 or some shit like that, right? And then at that point it is a bit much to get caught up. So, we talked about a newer one, so now let's take it back to an older series, an older shonen series that I'm really, really, really fucking enjoying. This is a series that I've tried to start many a time. I've tried to read it online, and I don't know why, I just never really could. But finally, not this year anymore, we're in a new year, right? 2018, I was able to find a pretty big haul of them. I found the first 12 volumes in a series that is 37 volumes long, and that is a bit discouraging for me. Even though 12 volumes I got it for like $25-$30 is really, really nice. The other the other 25 volumes still loomed over my head like a fucking guillotine. I was like, God damn, I just see money signs of how much I'm going to have to spend. And luckily, I've been buying a lot of them used. Some of them have been in horrible condition that I don't plan on keeping in my collection. By the end of the year, this year, when I do my next manga collection video, I will for sure replace all of the tattered volumes that I have of Eyeshield 21. That is the series we're going to be talking about next. Really, really, really fucking enjoy this series. This is a football shonen released back in the early 2000s, I believe. It has 37 volumes. Very, very lengthy series. It is considered by most as one of the best shonen sports series to have been written. It is up there with Slam Dunk. It is up there with Hajime no Ippo, Ishida no Joe. Those are like the typical ones that I hear. Obviously there's the people that say like Prince of Tennis, Kuroko no Basket, but I feel like if you say Prince of Tennis and Kuroko no Basket, that's more of like a personal preference or personal favorite. Like I really loved Prince of Tennis when I was younger because it was on Toonami and it was one of the first sports anime, and then reading it manga that I ever got introduced to. But if you read Eyeshield 21, if you read Slam Dunk, if you read Hajime no Ippo, you can notice that these series are a cut above, a tier above all the rest of the shonen sports. Haikyuu's getting really, really good as well, but I just really, really, really fucking think Slam Dunk for sure is just on a tier of its own. Hajime no Ippo as well. I haven't read it in a long time, but when I did, it gave me those fucking, those rocky feels, those underdog feelings, the training, the hardship, the dedication. But Eyeshield 21, I think what sets it apart from Slam Dunk and what sets it apart from Hajime no Ippo is the team and the teams. I think Slam Dunk does a really good job of giving everyone a chance to shine, but when there's 5 players on the court or however many, there's not that many, and I feel like Eyeshield 21, there's a lot more storylines and a lot more character development of the side characters, a bit more. In Slam Dunk, it's just a few major villains and the team, the Slam Dunk squad. But in Eyeshield 21, recently I just read a current arc that's kind of been completed. It's essentially, I'm not giving any spoilers, but I'll call it Musashi's Return. If you have read the series, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you don't know. But that fucking got me, man. That almost brought a tear to my eye. I don't even know why, because it was so like, you see it the whole time I'm reading the volume. You see it coming, but at the same time, it just hits you. And Slam Dunk is just a very, very not Slam Dunk. Ice Shield 21 is just a very, very well written series with characters that are very, very different and in their own rights, and they have their own challenges they must face, and man, they have their own goals to accomplish, and they're just so fucking good, in my opinion, at least. I think the characters in Ice Shield 21, the team itself as a whole, are just very real characters. You can see why they're doing something. The main characters, in my opinion, I like him. He's a bit, he gets a bit stale at times because he's a bit tropey-ish, but I feel like in Ice Shield 21, when you're not liking the main character, it's fine because the other side characters, they make the story great in themselves. Like, you don't even have to like Senna for you to like Ice Shield 21. The other characters carry the story just as well, even though Senna does have his epic moments. And also, I feel like the other teams who they fight or who fight other people, because what I really like about Ice Shield is they take the time to show the other matches as well. If it's an important one, at least they show at least a bit of it, and the reactions to the final battle and whatnot of these two teams going at it. Currently, I'm only on volume 17, and I'm at the halfway point, and I'm really, really fucking enjoying it. I have up to volume 25 coming in the mail, so I'm taking a little break until they come in, and you guys will see that in a haul. If you listen to this podcast, you're always getting these fucking spoilers of what I'm picking up. So I'm getting more Ice Shield 21, and I went to Barnes & Noble, and I have a haul to show you guys later. I'll probably post that up within a couple days. But yeah, guys, Ice Shield 21 is fucking phenomenal, and I highly recommend checking it out. If you can buy it, I would say buy it. If you can't, I say read it online. So next, let's talk about a newer series that doesn't have 37 fucking volumes, but I've been enjoying, not just as much, but in a different way. I'm talking about My Hero Academia. What? My Hero Academia? Vigilantes. Let's not talk about the main shit. The main shit, everyone knows the main shit. You know My Hero Academia. It's taking over the fucking world. I want to talk about its little step brother, Vigilantes. Okay, so at first, sorry about that. Readjusting my chair. So at first, I was very, very, I would say, I don't know. I was just not really, didn't really have my eye on My Hero Academia Vigilantes. I picked it up, but I didn't read it. It was just kind of there whenever I get to it, I was impassive of it all. Like, I just, whatever, I'll get to it when I get to it. And one day I picked it up, and I was like, I wonder what this is going to be about. It's probably not going to be that good. And boy, was I wrong. My Hero Academia Vigilantes, if you're a huge My Hero Academia fan, I would say you have to pick it up just for the fact that, it has the My Hero Academia name, and because it has a lot of cameos from characters in the My Hero Academia universe. We've already seen Eraserhead, and we've actually seen, I forget his name. Man, how do I forget his name? But the guy in Deku's class who has the fucking motors on his leg, his older brother, it actually plays like a prominent role in one of the arcs, the arcs in volume 2. You actually see a lot of him and his team, and just the whole ecosystem and world of My Hero Academia is actually fleshed out more in this side story, because it builds upon the world and the history of the world, and why the Vigilantes came to be, and why the heroes came to be, and their current relationship between the two. It's very important. It's a very important side story because it's important to the world. And if you're really want to know more about My Hero Academia, you want to be that elitist, not even being an elitist, but you just want more content because you really love the story, read My Hero Academia Vigilantes. That's my reasoning. If you just simply love My Hero Academia and you can't get enough, I would say that's enough for you to pick up the series. If you're not in love with My Hero Academia, this is for you. It's different. It feels more fun, and how would I explain it? In My Hero Academia, there's set goals in which Deku and his friends want to accomplish. In a way, they're kind of more of the cubicle, in a sense, where you kind of feel Deku's racing against the clock. You know, he wants to get stronger. He needs to get stronger because he needs to fill in the shoes of All Might. So it's kind of just, I don't want to say anxious, but, you know, Deku's moving forward, and at times he isn't taking in life in a sense. My Hero Academia Vigilantes, on the other hand, is more of this college student who always wanted to be a hero, but for some reason he wasn't able to. You'll find out, you know. So he takes it upon himself to go on night and hunt villains, or help at least, help the community. But he doesn't have a license, so that marks him as a vigilante. But the whole time he's still going to school, he still has his part-time job. This is all just like on the side. He's not trying to make this his dream, his career. He just really wants to help. And then that way, that kind of alleviates all the pressure of the My Hero Academia storyline, because in the My Hero Academia storyline, like I said, they're pressured to, like, oh, I need to be the best hero now. I need to be it tomorrow. This guy's just sort of living life. He's like, I really want to be a hero. I just want to help. So I'll do that on my spare time, but I still have to do my other life. I don't know. I feel like it more resonates with me, because as a college student, because it's like, that's what you were doing right now. We're like going to school, you know, I'm working, I'm doing my other stuff. I'm just in the motions, you know. There's obviously, I have grand dreams in my head, but those aren't life. We're just moving through the motions of life, enjoying it as we go, and trying to make the best of it. And that's what I feel like My Hero Academia Vigilantes does. Obviously, there's action, there's villains, there's cool moments, there's character development. Our characters evolve, and there's some secrets and mystery that we still haven't seen. You know, everything. It's really fucking good, and I highly recommend it. It's just very fun. And I would recommend it for even those who don't like My Hero Academia. I'd say, hey, check out Vigilantes. You know, maybe you'll like the stepbrother. So yeah, that was My Hero Academia Vigilantes. And finally, the last volume of manga, we're going to talk about my last favorite shonen I'm reading at the moment, and of all time, is My Hero Academia is Hunter x Hunter. Hunter. So, Hunter, where do I start? I talk about this so fucking much. I've made a video, if you haven't checked it out, on the channel. It's called All That Happened in One Volume. It's talking about how much fucking content, how much story was progressed in one volume, in the first volume of Hunter x Hunter, and it is fucking ludicrous how much he put into that one volume, how much actually progresses. It's insane. I highly recommend watching it out, checking it out. And My Hero Academia, I'm not talking about My Hero Academia. Why do I keep saying it? Hunter x Hunter is a series that is close to my heart, and as I'm rereading it now for the month of January, I noticed why I love it so much. It's just so pure and good, and the characters feel so realistic, where they're not doing it for the sake of moving the story along. They're doing it because that is in their character. Hisoka, the things he does is because that is what the fuck Hisoka would do. Leo Rio's the same way. I've actually, rereading it, I'm actually finding more of a love for Leo Rio, because he's just so true to himself, and he's so comical at times, but he really does step up when he needs to. And I really wish we'd see more Leo Rio in the new chapters, but whatever. I just think Hunter x Hunter is one of the greatest shonens of all time. I think every single arc of Hunter x Hunter is fun and great, and the Nen system is a power system that is probably the best in all of shonen. It's so imaginative, but there's strict rules and regulations that you can break, but at a cost, and that is fucking important to me, and it means the world to me. You know, Fullmetal Alchemist style, you know, equivalent exchange, everything. There are rules and regulations, but that doesn't mean you cannot break those rules, or at least circumvent those rules, but at a cost. My Hero Academia. I keep saying My Hero Academia, dude. What the fuck is wrong with me? Get that shit out of my head. Hunter x Hunter is my favorite shonen of all time. I would highly recommend anyone that loves shonen to read this series. It's a bit hit or miss. I feel like people really, really, really fucking drag on to those shitty panels that he did, because Hunter x Hunter is notorious, Togashi at least, for drawing these really, really bad panels. You'd think it'd be straight out of One Punch Man, you know. But those few panels that are out there, you know, I feel like there's more than a few panels, obviously, but that's not enough for me to discredit this series as a whole. I think this series is fucking brilliant. The world building is insane. The Nen system, the power system, again, is one of the most imaginative, creative, and, you know, strict power systems in all of Shonen. The power creep never gets too large, even though at the end of the story, our characters are getting a bit stronger, a lot stronger, but it's all relative to when you compare it to the beginning. But obviously they're going to be way stronger because, you know, in the beginning they didn't even know Nen, and then they discovered it, and then they practiced it, and they learned it. And what I love about Hunter x Hunter is it's a progression. Every single arc, they are progressing and they are training. There's not one arc where they're not fucking training, because they need to train. You know, they can't just coast on by, and there's no sudden power-ups. It takes them fucking time, you know, effort and practice to get stronger. It's realistic in that sense. Obviously, they're evolving at a much higher rate than normal, but that's because there are some people that aren't normal, and that's how it is. You know, if you pick up a basketball, you and your friend pick up a basketball, you guys aren't gonna get better at the same exact speed. Someone's gonna be faster than the other one. That's how it is. So thank you guys for listening to Mangalore episode 6. This has been Toaster Cat. I'm going to improve on other things as well. I need to still work on this audio for my new mic, and I don't know, we'll see what happens with the channel. I now have Adobe Premiere, but I need to learn how to use it properly. But yeah, so don't expect things fast. Don't expect improvements, you know, overnight. This is going to be a process, but I hope by the end of the year this channel looks better, looks a lot better. But it's going to take time, and I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Hope you guys are too. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you guys for subscribing. Mangalore is on episode 6, and I hope to keep this going for the rest of the year. Can we do it? Who knows? So you guys take care. Toaster Cat out.